Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Can I say something before we start?
Of course.
It's so hard to come after Michal. I want you to know that we're going to talk about other things, but, echoing what the First Lady said, we will not be whole until they all return home. And we will not be whole until your community and others will be recovered. So we wake up thinking of you and we go to sleep thinking of you. So
absolutely. It's hard. It's hard to transition from that. But we will nevertheless try. The country and the world are undergoing a massive transformation because of AI. There's a lot of concern that this is going to impact employment negatively because, AI might replace us. How in particular do you see this as impacting women?
I'm actually really optimistic about how it's going to impact women.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I think that any revolution or transformation disrupt the existing paradigms and bring new ones. And as we bring new paradigms, underrepresented populations can actually become more represented or even lead. So that's in general. Specific for Gen AI really helps makes knowledge accessible for everyone and help us upskill ourselves much easier. So really can help women advance themselves. That's one thing. Second, Gen AI really makes us more efficient. And as women, we always strive to be very efficient. We typically juggle our home and career with our, and hopefully on top of that, we try to do some sports, maybe read a book. So there is a lot to juggle. And with Gen AI making us more efficient, I think that we can actually have more time to grow and develop. And last but not least, and maybe related to what the First Lady spoke about in terms of this soft power, I think that in a world where we have people powered by AI, these people, the very technical things AI will do, these people, it will be much more important, their interpersonal skills. And this is where women typically have an advantage.
Typically, yes. So you've kind of worked in the field of inclusion and such in the workplace for quite a bit. You spent a lot of your career beyond just being a leader in your industry as a major part of initiatives to create inclusion and equality in the workplace. However, you work in the tech field, and recent reports have revealed that women make up 30% on average of most of the high-tech industry. How do we bring about positive change, in your opinion, in representation?
It's a lot of hard work and it's a journey. First of all, it starts with education. We still see in schools that women or young girls are steered towards specific professions, typically low-income professions, while men are steered to the high-power positions. So we need to start there with the education. Another aspect is there is a say, you can't be what you can't see. Now, I think you can, but it's just much more difficult, and it really helps to have role models. So we try to be role models for young women. We at Microsoft, we bring a lot of women to Microsoft to visit us, a lot of students, young students. We come to schools and we talk to them. So if a young girl from a village sees our general manager for Microsoft R&D here in Israel as a woman, she can really think about herself as the next one and as a tech leader to be. And then we do a lot of mentoring. I'm personally part of the Woman to Woman organization that is working on mentoring the future leaders of Israel. And we're actually signing up women for our 10th round of Woman to Woman. So anyone who's interested, you are very, very welcome. So we mentor women internally and externally. And then I think there is the aspect of culture. We talk a lot about diversity and inclusion. Diversity is easy, it's the numbers, but inclusion is hard work of allowing women to be their genuine selves, to bring their unique voice, and still to thrive in the workplace. So we do all of that.
That's extremely empowering. Yeah, that's incredible. I do want to take just a moment from our interview because unfortunately the First Lady of the State of Israel does have to leave. I wanted to say thank you so much for being here and being a voice for the voiceless. Thank you so much.
So going back to your question, I think there is the last aspect, which is very practical things that matter. We allow for extended parental leave for both men and women. It helps drive more equality and more women in the workplace. We ensure equal pay. There are all these things that are practical and need to happen, but I think the most important are the education and the culture.
Super, super important. Absolutely. You, in your personal life, if you will, personal and professional, have made major transitions in your career, both in Microsoft, but also outside of it. So when we're coming from, a perspective of education and bringing other women up, how do you take initiative in order to make decisions as a leader in terms of what other women here can learn from you?
So maybe just to give you some sense, I've been a product leader in the industry for over 30 years, twice relocated to the Silicon Valley and back. I've sort of left the workforce and became a consultant and then came back. In the 15 years at Microsoft, I've done various product roles in the cloud and AI division, including being the CTO for the development center in Israel, which was sort of moving away from the business, and then I went back. So I'm a big believer that we control our destiny, and we need to take action.
That feels like a contradiction in terms, destiny, but also control.
I guess. So 2 things that I think are important in terms of proactively making moves. The first one is really knowing yourself. I think self-awareness is always important, but in this context, be aware of your superpowers and what you would bring into a role and what you could leverage to be successful, to set yourself up for success. And in addition, be mindful of where this role will stretch you and allow you to grow and develop. So that's one aspect. The second is every proactive move, every such change is risk-taking, and you need to be sure that it's the right time for you to take risk, personally, in terms of your situation, in terms of your financial situation. And also, we know that when you take risks, sometimes it is more successful and sometimes less. I took a risk and decided to leave my previous role at Microsoft 3 years ago and move to this role of industry AI. No one knew exactly what it was back then, but and then a few months later, the Gen AI revolution started, and I found myself leading the spirit of what we do in the industry, building agents for industry-specific use cases, building models that are specific to industry use cases. So that was a great move. Some moves have not been that great, but I think that our careers are so long that we can take a risk and we can make a change, and it can be a lateral change. We can even take a step back. If I want to move from tech to business or from business to tech, maybe I take a step back and detour. And I think we can allow ourselves, and if the move is not great, then we'll make the next move, and it works.
Absolutely. I think also something people forget these days is our average lifespan is longer. You can make a decision, you could be wrong, and then you can move, and you could change, and you can change career paths, and that's all possible because we'll have longer time in the workforce, whether we like it or not. My final question, and it's just a short one. One piece of advice that you'd have for a woman starting her high-tech career or career in general?
Okay, I have to give 2. It will be very short.
All right. Well.
Okay. So first one is, I call it no regrets. We as women tend to feel guilty and be regretful. If I'm now really busy at home, I'm missing work. If I'm more busy at work, who knows what will happen to my kids. So I didn't say in the beginning, I'm married with 3 kids. They are older now. They are building their own careers. Trust me, there is no need for guilt and regret. And if we free ourselves from it, all of a sudden we have so much more energy and cycles to do great things. That's one. And the second one, now more than ever, we can't just sit still. We have to learn, we have to evolve, we have to challenge the way we think about ourselves and our role and do things. And this is how we prepare ourselves for the jobs of tomorrow.
Absolutely. Merav Davidson, thank you so much for joining us today.